Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I am going to go ahead and get this presentation started. My name is Kimberly Downer. I am with Gorilla Prince Consulting. We are an athletic and educational development and consulting organization working out of the Bronx, New York, where we don't train players, we develop athletes. We are here to um, bring some knowledge and education to our community. And we are partnering with Mr. Juan Pedroso from the MoneyMan Business Solutions, and he has some really great nuggets to drop on y'all tonight. So give me a second to get everything all set up, and we will begin our presentation. I'm going to introduce you. This is Mr. Juan Pedroso. He is the founder of the MoneyMan Business Solutions LLC and is an experienced tax and accounting professional with over 17 years of experience in the financial services industry. As an IRS enrolled agent, QuickBooks Pro advisor, and Ramsey certified financial coach, Juan combines technical expertise with a passion for helping individuals and businesses achieve financial clarity and confidence. Through the MoneyMan Business Solutions, he provides comprehensive tax preparation, accounting, and financial coaching services designed to empower clients to make informed financial decisions, reduce tax burdens, and build lasting wealth. And tonight, Juan is going to be talking to us about college planning, a guide for students and families. So, Juan, without any further ado, I'm going to put myself on mute and go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Kimberly, and I want to thank everybody at Gorilla Prince for helping us make this happen, and everybody that has joined tonight. Um, Kimberly, will they get the recording after there's done the attendees? They will. Okay, great, awesome, awesome. Okay, so today we're going to talk about college prep. Okay, and when we're going through these slides, I want you guys to picture you going to a store to buying either a cell phone, a computer, um, a video game, or whatever the case may be, right? And the reason I want you to have that picture in your head while we're going through these things is because when we go to a store, we go in as a consumer. And when we go in as a consumer, what goes through our head, right? It's like, okay, what product do I want? Why do I want the product? Is this the best product for me? And the $1 million question, how much is this going to cost me? Right? So when you're looking at colleges and when you're deciding what college you're going to, all these questions that we just mentioned need to also be in your head. Okay. You have to look at it from the lens of a consumer. Okay. When you're choosing a college, it's just like picking out a product. You're picking something that you feel is filling a certain need for you at a certain price, at a certain price that you can afford, right? Because if you're not able to afford this product, the store is probably not going to let you leave with the product, right? So the same concept here. So as we go through these slides, I want you to have in mind as if you were going into a store to purchase a particular product, have this that kind of mentality. Okay, because when you're looking for a college, you are the customer and you are the one that is looking for the best product slash college for you. Okay. So, all right, go next slide, please. Okay. Now, when you're looking for a college, right? When you're looking for a product, going back to the same example, what is one of the things that you're looking for, right? It's like, okay, how much does this cost? How am I able going to be able to pay for this product? So In the college world, there's different types of financial assistance, right? Help to pay for this product, which in this situation is college, okay? Now you need to have your homework done when you're selecting a college, okay? You can't just go at it blind, okay? You need to do your homework, just like you study for an exam, just like you do your homework because you want a good grade. It is the same concept. If you want to have a good, successful college experience, you need to do your homework beforehand. And just like when you go buy a product, one of the main things you're thinking about is how much does this product cost and how am I going to be able to pay for it? Okay. So here we have in the college world, we have different types of assistance, right? The first one is grants, right? So in grants, it is money that is used for you to pay for school that you do not have to pay back. Okay. Now there's different types of grant. Let's start with the government grants, right? We have the Pell Grant, which is a federal grant that assists you in paying for college, right? Now these grants and scholarships pay the university directly. Okay, so it's not money given to you; it is money given to the school for your to pay for your attendance. Okay, so think of it as if you go to Best Buy, you want to buy or let's say you go to the Apple store, you want to buy an iPhone. A grant will pay Apple for you to take that iPhone, right? And then in theory, you say, oh, wow, I took this iPhone for free. No, you did not take the iPhone for free. It was just that somebody else paid for you to take the iPhone. So the same thing goes here. Pell Grants is federal aid that is given to the university so you can attend courses in that university. Okay. Now, depending on what state you're in, right? Right now, we're doing this webinar from New York. So in the state of New York, there is a grant called the TAP grant, right? So it's called the Tuition Assistance Program. So that is a state level program that assists state residents with tuition assistance to pay for their tuition and other college expenses. Okay. Now I specify that this is a state program because obviously every state has their own program. Some may not have any programs at all. That does vary. And each one has requirements, right? So these are the mainly states help out their own residents, people that live in their own state and attend colleges inside their own state. Okay. So that's in New York. In New York's case, they have a TAP grant that assists students that attend in New York and that also live in New York. Okay. Now, the next one is you have private scholarships, right? Private scholarships are now non-governmental assistance that different organizations give out for different reasons. Some are academic, some are athletic, right? Um, like Gorilla Prince, helps athletes, right, to increase their talents so they can potentially get these types of private scholarships, right? The popular free ride that is called, right? That is a private scholarship. A different organization, non-governmental organization, is giving out this money either for academic excellence or athletic excellence. Some outside organizations also give out different scholarships for different tasks that you do. Some people require an essay. Some people require, low income students, right, to write an essay and explain why they deserve a scholarship. So, and in that situation, they pick out select students and also donate, provide scholarships so this child can pay for their education. Okay, so that is another way of receiving assistance to pay for your education. And the good thing about these first three that we're talking about is that you do not have to pay any of this back, right? Whatever money you get, you are not required to pay it back. Okay. So these first three are ones that you really have to try to maximize as much as possible because Again, as a consumer, which is what you are as a student, you are a consumer, you are the customer selecting a product, which in this case is a college. We always want the best product at the and to pay the least for, right? That's what we're always going for. What is the best product I can get at the lowest price possible? So with these first three options, these grants and these scholarships, that puts you in a situation where you can get the best product at potentially the lowest cost or out of pocket cost to you. Okay. And then you have recruiting as well, as I mentioned earlier. Recruiting and the private kind of falls in the private scholarships where you, for your either athletic or academic ability, you get assistance to go to particular colleges. Colleges are very popular, especially the athletic ones. Use this tool, um, use this type of assistance as a tool to recruit the best athletes, right, to their university, because they know that if you go to their school and you are the top of your of your uh, of your class in your industry, say basketball, football, whatever the case, type of sport, it will it will give them better recognition, help them make more money, et cetera, et cetera. So that is a good tool that the school uses to entice you to, go um, to their school. Again, think of it as a rebate, right? Some manufacturers say, oh, well, we'll give you $100 cash back, or we'll give you 50% off, right? Think of it as that way, as that is a way that the manufacturer of the product is enticing you to buy their product. Okay. All right, you can go to the next slide, please. Other types of options. Okay, there's plenty of them. Okay, and it's very important. The better equipped you become at knowing these options, will put you in the best position to get the best education at the lowest price, at the lowest cost to you. Okay, if there was a way for you to get the brand new iPhone for free, you would be doing your homework and finding out how to do that, right? So same thing here. You found a way, you can find ways to get the best type of college education as close to free as possible. It is your responsibility to do your homework and find out how that's possible. Okay, and then that's what we're doing here. We're doing our homework. We're finding out what is available and how we can maximize what is available. All right, work study. Work study is another way. So the way work study works is the university says, okay, you know what? I'll give you a job, okay? And in exchange for that job, it'll cover part of your tuition, okay? That's normally how work study works. Um, doesn't mean you don't get paid. You do get paid, but part of your compensation, part of your payment is the tuition. Um, that will be covered, part of the tuition will be covered in that work study program. Okay. Now, this next one is pretty important. This one is an outside resource, tuition reimbursements. Okay. Some companies, for those of you students that have jobs, right? Some companies offer tuition reimbursement. Okay. And what that means is that you pay for school or whatever out of pocket you need to have. Your employer will assist you in refunding you what you paid. Okay. Now, how do you find out if your company offers this? Well, go to the HR. Right? HR will give you whatever resource if that program is available with your employer. Now, if you find out that your employer does offer this, then what is the next step? The next step is, well, what are the details? How do I qualify for this tuition reimbursement? I remember when I was in college, where I used to work, the employer I worked while I was in college offered tuition reimbursement. And the way it worked was the requirements was it was one, you had to be a full-time employee, which I was. Two, you had to, it was for funds that you paid yourself out of pocket. So if you were receiving grants and scholarships, then technically that's not you paying it for it, so that didn't qualify. but whatever you had to come up out of your pocket to pay, all right, that was another one. Okay. And then after that, you had to have at least a B grade on those courses that you're taking. Okay. So at the end of the semester, I already had the full-time employee requirement, down packed. So when I finished my semester, I would take my grades, submit my receipt of what I paid out of pocket, and then in a couple of weeks, the check was in the mail. Okay, so it's another great tool if your employer offers it to take advantage of. Okay, another one is if you're in the military. A lot of military programs. Okay, a lot of great educational programs for working in the military. Okay, and then you have also various programs through the same university. Same university sometimes offers tuition, certain scholarships, and things like that. Okay, so these are different payment options, different ways that you can find to pay for your product. Okay, remember going back to the whole walking into a store concept. You go in, you want to know what product you want to get, you want to know why you want to get that product, and then once you get the product, okay, how much does the product cost? Once you know how much the product costs, okay, it's now how am I going to pay for this product to go ahead and take the product home and use it. Okay, so here we're looking at the different ways that you can find incentives to pay for your product and have as little come out of your own pocket. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now another way you can pay for your education is through loans, right? You have student loans. Some are offered by the government, some are offered privately. But the reason I left the loan part at the end is because that should be your last resort. It is an option. Yes, it is available to you as well, right? Again, and going back to the concept of the store, you go into many stores and yes, they'll offer you a credit card, they'll offer you extended pay and all that good stuff. That is an option and it is available to you. So you can take your product that day and pay later. Yes. However, that should be your last resort. Okay. We gave you 8 different ways priorly. We just talked about how 8 different ways you can find a way to go to college with as little money out of pocket as possible and with no responsibility of having to pay it back. Okay. So this one, which is one that you have to pay back, you get to go to college now and then pay later. Yes, it is an option. Yes, it is available, but it should be the last resort. It should be the last option you should be considering. This should only occur after you've completely exhausted the first 8 options we gave you. Okay, think about this. This is like the last resort, right? If you've exhausted your first 8 that we just talked about, if there's still money left over that you have to pay and for whatever reason you don't have it, then fine. The loan is available. But again, want to reiterate, we left it for last for a reason. And the reason is that it should be treated that way. It should be treated as a last resort after you've exhausted every other potential option. And as you saw in the previous slides, there are plenty of options to receive assistance to pay for college. So a loan should not be at the top of your list. There is no reason for a loan to be at the top of your list when you have all the other resources available to you that we spoke about. But if you're still, after everything you've exhausted, there's still money you have to pay, you don't have it, then yes, the loan is another option and it is available to you as well. Next slide. Okay, now, once again, you are the consumer and you're trying to select your product, the best product that fits your needs at the best price. right? So there are some questions that you should ask yourself when you're selecting a college. Okay, just like anything else that we buy when we go to the store. We're like, okay, do I want the newest model? Am I okay with the middle model? You know, how much is the old model, right? Or do I get a better deal if I take the old model, right? These are all questions that we're asking when we're buying something, right? We know we want something, but what we want is something that will meet our need at the best price. Okay. Same thing with college. When you're looking for college, you gotta ask yourself a set of questions. It's like, okay, why do I want to go? First of all, why do I want to go to college? Okay. That's the first question you need to ask yourself. Why do I want to go to college? Okay. And it needs to be more than, oh, because everybody else is going. It needs to be more than just that. Right. You got to really think about this thing. And okay, why do I want to go to college? Boom. Same thing when you buy anything else. Why do I want a phone? Why do I want a computer? Why do I want a video game? Right? Same thing, same concept. You need to ask yourself, why do you want this? After you ask yourself that question, it's okay. You found a good answer. Great. Now, what are my options? I've decided I want to go to college. I want to get a higher education. Perfect. Congratulations. Now, what college? What is at my disposal? Right? What is at my disposal? What colleges are available to me? Right? What type of phones are available to me? What type of computers? Am I going to go with HP? Am I going to go with Dell? Am I going to go with Intel? Am I going to go with AMD? Am I going to go with Apple? Am I going to go with Samsung? Same thing with college. What is available to me? I've decided I want to go to college. Now I got to see what is available to me. Now, when you're deciding what college is available to you, you got to see what you want to get out of it, right? I mean, I remember back in the day, um, back in the Stone Ages, there used to be called I don't know, remember a phone called Sidekick. And they had this plan. Sidekick had a plan where it's like your five closest friends, you had unlimited talk and text with your five closest friends. So if you got a sidekick, it was because you wanted to have unlimited access to talk and text with your five closest friends, right? That was the benefit that you wanted to take. And this is why you bought a sidekick at that time. So same thing with college. Why do you want to go to these universities? What kind of degree what do you want to specialize at? Do I want to go to a business school? Do I want to become a pro athlete, make it to the NBA, to the NFL? Depending on what is it that you want to get from these universities, then you have to now start narrowing down and say, okay, which university will put me in the best situation to obtain what I want? If I want to make it to the NBA, what are the best colleges to give myself a chance to make it to the NBA? If I want to become an attorney, which universities will put me in the best situation to potentially become an attorney, and so forth, right? And then if I'm not too sure yet, but I want to get my foot in the door because I want to go to college. I know I want to go to college. Not sure what I want to study yet, but I know I want my foot in the door. Okay, then maybe a community college would be the best way because you keep your costs low and you still have your foot in the college door. So once you determine what are your options, like, okay, what option will be the best fit for me depending on what I want to get out of college, right? So once you've determined that, you're like, okay, well, how much does this stuff even cost? So you determine, right? You want the iPhone because all your friends have an iPhone, and then you'll be able to text each other all the time, and you'll be able to relate with the apps that you download and everything. Congratulations, you've decided you want the iPhone. Well, how much does this iPhone cost? Right? I mean, that's the next question we ask. Same thing with college. College is no different. How much is the school going to cost me in that time I'm going to be there? Okay, what are the different options? What if I stay in school? How much is it going to cost? What if I stay at home? How much is that going to cost? Right? Will it cost less if I stay at home instead of staying in a dorm? Okay. Well, if I want to change colleges, what are the colleges that will accept all my classes so I don't ever having to pay for the same class twice? right? I mean, these are all things you need to think about as the consumer when you were selecting a college. You need to have the answers, and you need to know the answers to these questions before you go ahead and make a decision. Before you finally decide what university you're going to, you need to have these questions answered in a way where you feel comfortable saying, okay, I want to go to XYZ university because I've seen that I want to become an attorney. This is the best school for it, and it costs this much. And here are the grants that are available. I got this grant, I got this grant, I got this scholarship, I got this. The rest, my job will pay for it, or whatever the case. And all these questions that we just talked about have to be answered in a form, in a clear form where you feel comfortable before you actually decide what college you end up going to. Okay, now universities do a great job of, of leading you to believe that they accept you to their school. And they're doing you a favor by accepting you to their school. No, that is not how it works. You're the customer, you're the one paying for it. They need the money from you. You are the one paying them. And even if it's through grants from other programs or scholarships from a different organization, they're getting that money because you decided to go there. Okay. So don't fall for the gimmick of, oh, they want me. Oh wow, they're going to accept me. They really want me. No, they want your money. All right. So if you're gonna cough up money, let it be in a place where you want to go, and let it be in a place where you feel comfortable going, and let it be in a place where you know you're gonna get your bang for your buck. Okay, because we don't buy the new iPhone because, oh, we want to buy the most expensive phone. No, we buy the iPhone because it is the newest phone out there, and we know that our friends are going to be like, oh, you got the new iPhone. Oh, and now I'm going to fit into the group, and now people are going to think I'm cool, and I'm going to stay up to date because I have the newest iPhone. That is why you get the newest iPhone. And that is why sometimes we're willing to pay $1,000 and $1,200 for it, because of the benefits we're going to get from buying it. Okay. Well, this is the same thing you have to think about when you're deciding for your college. Okay. Now, do's and don'ts of college planning. Okay. Remember, this is college planning. You have to do your homework. Okay. Everything I just talked about is readily available online. It is out there. Google it if you want. Chat GPT it if you want. I don't care how you get the info. Get the info. Okay? Colleges and their websites gladly tell you how much they cost, gladly tell you what their special programs are, and so forth and so forth. There is no excuse for you to not know what you're getting into because it is all out there. It is available. It is readily available to you. Okay? All you have to do is go and get the information. So do your homework. Once you determine what you want and where you want to go, do your homework. Okay? And if you're not sure where you want to go, seek counsel. Okay? You've got Gorilla Prince on your side. All right? Ask questions. Be like, hey, and it's okay for you to not know. Okay? It's okay for you to be unsure. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's okay to not have a clear path just yet. It's okay. But if you are in that situation, seek guidance and seek out to people that have done this before millions of times and have helped others like Gorilla Prince asked millions of times, because chances are the question that you have, many other kids have had, and it's already been answered over and over and over again. Okay, so it is okay to not know. It is okay to not be sure. What is not okay is to not know and not try to know. That is what's not okay. What is not okay is to go into a situation blindly without researching and doing your homework. Oh, because I didn't know. That part is not okay. But what is okay is for you to recognize that you don't know and then talk to the people that do know so you can end up knowing. Okay. And you have Gorilla Prince on your side. Okay. That will help you, that will guide you. And if they don't know, they will know people that do know because they've been doing that. They've been at this a long time. And chances are that the question that you've had, they've already bumped to a whole bunch of other students that have that same question. So they already know the answer probably even before you finish asking the question. Okay. So it starts with you. All right. The system is not set up for you to fail. Okay. Don't think that the world is against you or that you don't have a chance. You live in the land of opportunity. All right. Now you can do one of two things with the opportunities that are presented in front of you. You can either take advantage of them and run with it, or you can take them for granted and do nothing. That is your choice. You live in a free country. You have that choice. If you want to do nothing, you have every right to do nothing. But when you don't get the results that you want, you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. Same thing, if you get the results you end up getting from the actions that you took, from the opportunities that you took advantage of, then you get to pat yourself on the back because you did what you had to do. And those two opportunities are presented to us every single day. It's up to us if we get to take advantage of it or if we just take it for granted and just do nothing. Now, mind you, yes, people have different opportunities. Yes, people have different paths, and one may have more opportunities than other, but you will have opportunities. You will have the opportunity to do something about it, and you will have the opportunity to do nothing about it. And that part will be up to you every single time. And depending on what path you go, that is the result you are going to get. Not anything more, not anything less. Next slide. I believe this is the last one. Yes. So if you want to reach out, I have all my contact info there, my email, my number. Definitely continue to follow Gorilla Prince because there's a lot more of this content that will become available. Okay. In the next upcoming days. Any questions, feel free to reach out. Gorilla Prince is a great resource. We're available. It's a true honor to be partnered with Gorilla Prince in these projects, helping you out, for a better path. Because that's what we want at the end of the day. We want you to know what paths are available to you. That way you can make the best decisions. Thank you. Back to you, Kimberly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pedroso, for your wisdom and your time. Um, we are all done with our presentation. If you wish, just let us know that if you want the slides, they will be available. And this entire presentation will live on our YouTube page. So follow us, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more great nuggets from Mr. Pedroso and the MoneyMan Business Solutions. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. And with that, we will bid you adieu. Good night.